The Ubisoft conference is a funny one. Traditionally squished right in between big hitters like Microsoft and Sony, you can easily forget that it's coming. But honestly, year after year, Ubi brings the standout moments that live on in infamy.
You ever been so excited that like you're laughing and you're kind of crying at the same time? That was fucking awesome. Is everybody all right? Because I could use a couple of hugs. Yeah!
And while we were very sad that the beautiful, funny, and slightly intimidating Aisha Tyler wasn't on hosting duties this year, why, yes, I do have some girlwood for her. 2017's Ubi conference was no different. Here are 6 of its most interesting moments. Say what you will about Ubisoft, but they know how to kick things off with a bang. Announcing that the long-rumoured and often leaked Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle for Nintendo Switch was indeed a real thing, Ubi managed to convert many would-be critics of such a tenuous mashup almost immediately by calling Mr. Nintendo himself, Shigeru Miyamoto, up on stage and handing him a gun. A lovely Mario-themed bullet bill type gun, but still, a gun. It was a surreal moment seeing the pure sunshine that was Miyamoto and Ubi boss Eve posing up on stage together like a couple of goofballs.
So let's take a picture.
But things got real when the director of the game had an actual tear in his eye after being complimented and thanked by Miyamoto, and you could just tell that he was bursting with pride to be working on this with Nintendo. And a pretty big relief when the game didn't look half bad. We could never have known that a Mario & Rabbids XCOM game would be a game we'd actually want, but it turns out it just might be. We know the wizards are late and arrive precisely when they mean to, but Elijah Wood has an uncanny ability of showing up when you least expect it. In one of the conference's more bizarre moments, we had a crash zoom into Elijah's lovely blue eyes as he told us about his VR company's collaboration with Ubisoft to bring us Transference, a horror VR title. Cue people in VR headsets being hooked up to 30-year-old monitors by white-coated scientists. There's a lot of fourth wall breaking going on, so it wasn't very clear what was real and what was actually part of the game. But the official site mentions that old chestnut of how Transcendence will blur the lines between games and films, as well as giving a more solid summary of its premise. You're exploring one man's digitally recreated memories, exploring his home, and meeting troubled family members in a multi-branching narrative. Sounds very interesting and confusing. Well, sign us up.
What you're experiencing is a recorded consciousness.
The Presellus Shallows of Madagascar. Located on the cusp of a bustling trade route, it is the perfect place for an ambush.
Pirate MMOs are so in this year, as Skull and Bones joins Sea of Thieves in previews that we'd very much like to plunder sooner rather than later. Sure, you could say it looks suspiciously like reheated Assassin's Creed Black Flag assets, but there's not one of us out there that could say they wouldn't relish another opportunity to sing rum-soaked sea shanties with some online first mates. The weird moment, though, was at the very end of the presentation. Was that a Kraken we saw? And if indeed that was a Kraken we saw, let's have a look at him. You don't just hint at gigantic sea monsters in a huge online world and not let us get a proper peep of them in action. Seriously, come on Ubisoft, release the Kraken.
Atlas, Jewel of the Pleiades.
No Man's Skylanders seems like the most succinct way to sum up our initial thoughts on Starlink Battle for Atlas. Concept art for this game was actually included in Watch Dogs 2, in a mission where you hacked into a Ubisoft office to steal details on an unannounced Ubisoft project. But we're really not sure what to make of it. We kind of thought the moment for Toys to Life games had passed, but Ubisoft seems keen to give it a go regardless. It's pretty cool that you can switch out parts of your ship while playing on the Switch, but I've already lost or stepped on about 10 of those ship pieces and I don't even own them yet. There are some cool ideas there for sure, but it's not really very clear who this game is being made for, or who will really want it after the world has moved on from Skylanders, LEGO Dimensions, Disney Infinity, and the like. On Honestly, it just isn't a Ubisoft game without a weird dance break, and this year did not disappoint. Starting off with some Jamiroquai dancing Sub-Zeros, it quickly segued into a cutesy bubblegum pop dance, and then introed a dabbing panda. If you're ever in doubt that this is the greatest industry on the planet, remember the dabbing panda. And then also there was a dancing tribute to La La Land and a famous singer on stage, but whatever. The dabbing panda, that's everything. But yeah, I guess I want to dance with somebody too, BB.
But I don't wanna dance with somebody. I just wanna dance with somebody.
There was definitely something in the water at Ubisoft, because just as the show started with the game director for Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle getting us all emotional with lovely happy tears, it ended the same way, with a surprise Michel Ancel getting on stage and announcing Beyond Good and Evil 2 after almost 15 years of speculation. That's gotta be a big moment for him, and it was nice to see people be so happy and passionate about their work, even if we still don't have the slightest idea of what kind of game Beyond Good and Evil 2 will actually be. What we do know so far is that it's a prequel, rather than a sequel, and that apparently Ubisoft Montpellier will be developing the game alongside its community of fans, whatever that means. Well, the concept teaser we saw really does look good. Swearing monkeys, Swiss chocolate statues, and strong Fifth Element vibes are always winners in our book. Even if the swearing felt a little bit out of place for Beyond Good and Evil 2's family-friendly roots. Still, what a way to end a show.
What? That's Swiss fucking chocolate, pig.
Bon appetito!
If you enjoyed this video, please do give us a like and a subscribe before checking out our other E3 2017 offerings. Thanks for watching. Bye!
Fucking cop in this fucking city after that fucking bastard!
Grab my chassis, Noxie!